Hi there, James Savage from National Club Golfer, down here at a Top Tracer driving range today. You know, something a little bit different for you, something a little bit fun. We're here at Leicester Golf Centre, and here is where I want to bring you my sort of summary and review of a bit of a long-term test that I've been doing, and that is doing a one length versus variable length irons test. As you all know, I'm sure that I have been using the Cobra one length clubs for about a year now, but I've just been fitted into a set of Mizuno JPX919 Forged in variable length, and a lot of people are often asking me what is the difference between you know, one length and variable, what are the sort of performance differences. So like I said, I've been testing this on the course a lot of launch monitor data, but I wanted to come down into Top Tracer, use some of their fantastic, you know, nearest the pin technology and sort of launch monitor data to kind of bring you my sort of overall summary of whether or not it's going to be one length or variable length for me. Like I say, long-term test, but we're going to have a bit of fun today putting these two head to head, and I'll come back to you with a good detailed conclusion on where I think I'm going to go with my clubs for next year. Okay, it's just been having a good hit there using the Cobra one length and also using the Mizuno 919 Forged in variable length. Obviously I've been testing these clubs out, mainly going 975, because I think that's the way that you would get fitted into if you were having a one length fitting, to kind of get the gaps right between that 9, 7 and 5. So I wanted to know what was the difference comparing the 975 with the one length and with the variable length. I mean, a lot of people say that, oh, you know, with a longer shaft in the shorter irons that they're going to be going a lot further. They're saying that the shorter shaft in the longer irons means that the one length aren't going to be going as far. So I've been doing a lot of launch monitor testing to kind of get that data together. Just been having a little bit of fun here with the Top Tracer. Got a couple of shots there. The Cobra one length there, 28 feet. The Mizuno 57 feet. So I'm not exactly peppering the pin just there, but you know, what's been really interesting for me in this test is that gapping. So I'm going to carry on just hitting a few more shots just to, you know, see if I can get a little bit nearer to the pin here using this Top Tracer system. You see if I can get anywhere near the current leader, which is going to be quite difficult because he's 9 inches away, but I'm going to give it my go, and then I'll come back to you with some more of a, you know, detailed conclusion about my launch monitor numbers. Okay, so what's my overall conclusion on this test, this sort of like one length v variable length? What are my findings? What are my thoughts? What are my feelings about which is the best way for me to go, and maybe for some of you guys as well? Like I said, it's been really good fun today testing these clubs out with the Top Tracer technology, because it's not just about, you know, launch monitor numbers, how far your irons go. They've got all this sort of simulator technologies where you can actually play holes, do nearest the pin, you know, and that's really what you want when you're testing out your irons, because they're all about accuracy. So that's been really useful for me. But just from a launch monitor point of view, where I've got the numbers here, I wanted to look at gapping. I wanted to look at the 9, 7 and 5 iron with each three clubs to see, if any, what the differences were. So 9 iron with the variable length, like I say, we've got the carry 128, and with the one length we've got the carry 129. There's not really any difference there at all. The one main difference I found when hitting the 9 iron was that with the one length the ball did go very high, and I don't know whether that's just because of you know, how I was hitting them with that longer shaft. You kind of hitting it in the sort of 7 iron position, maybe presenting a little bit more loft as you deliver the club. And you think when you've got that shorter club, you know, maybe the ball back in the stance a little bit more, you might hit it a little bit lower. But from a carry point of view, there's no real difference at all. There was a little bit more spin with the variable length club as well, so possibly a little bit more stopping power on the greens, maybe a little bit more control. But from a gapping point of view, I can't pick anything out of the difference between the two. 7 iron numbers, we've got a variable length carrying 153, we've got the one length carrying 147, so there is a little bit of a difference in the gap there, but it's nothing major. It's nothing that's causing me any concern. And then probably the main difference that we've got here is when we're looking at the 5 iron. I've got an average carry with the variable length of 170, and I've got an average carry length of 165 there. Longer shaft length, it is, you know, a little bit more speed, a little bit more distance with the variable length. But what I do find with the 5 iron in the one length, I'm a lot more consistent. My dispersion is a lot tighter. lighter, and that is a key thing for me, because I think that, you know, again with irons, that front to back dispersion is very important, and I did find there was quite a bit of difference in that, you know, in the dispersion with the variable length. I felt that I could hit that 165 carry time after time after time with the 1 length 5 iron. I was hitting some that were carrying a way over 170, and then I was hitting a few that were carrying more like 160, and that front to back dispersion with irons for me is a bit of a problem. So what would I choose to use? I think looking at this number and looking at all the information I've gathered here today on my on-course testing, I would think that when it comes to the long irons, I'm much happier in the 1 length. When it comes to the shorter irons, I think I'm a little bit happier in variable length. So the question that you have to ask yourself is, what's going to help me shoot better scores? Is it going to be better with my short irons, or is it going to be better with my long irons? And that is a very difficult question for me to answer in a way that's going to maybe help you. You know, which is going to help me shoot better scores, I'm not too sure. But from a consistency point of view, I'm leaning more towards the 1 length. I used the 1 length last year, I really enjoyed it, and I feel like I can get a little bit more consistency. And that's what I'm going to stick with for now. I'm going to stick with the 1 length for now. That's my conclusion. I'm a big 1 length fan. Irons are all about consistency, and I think 1 length are going to give me a little bit more consistency. By no means a definitive result. You may find something completely different. So I'd like me to post your comments below on what your experiences are. If you want any more questions answering about the difference between the two, please post them below. But it's been a really interesting test for me to find out on the course and here at the Top Trace as well. So comments below about the differences. Anything else you want to know, post them below. Thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.